Hi, South Holland. We're not doing lunch today, obviously. It's dark out. You can probably tell. I am actually going to get us to breakfast with the librarian, but you'll have to eat it tomorrow. I'm making muffins. And the reason is because we bought bananas, and this is how they are right now. And this happens, right? Like, you buy a bunch of bananas and you have big plans, and you eat a few of them, and then they get a little bit browner, and then you eat a couple of more, and then they're like past the point where you really want to eat them. So I'm making banana muffins, and the great thing about these banana muffins is that there's only 5 ingredients. They are free of refined sugar, and they are gluten-free as well, if you are a person who cares about that. You just put everything kind of in the blender and give it a zap and bake it up, and they're super duper easy. So let me quit talking and get to making muffins. All right. Okay, so here are our ingredients. I'm gonna take 2 of these brown bananas, and honestly, when you're baking with bananas, the browner the better. It doesn't mean when they're brown like this that they've gone bad. It just means that they are kind of becoming more and more and more ripe, and all of the inside of the banana is turning into like natural sugars. And that is why we don't need to add any brown sugar or white sugar to this recipe. So I'm tossing just a couple of bananas into my blender. What do you call that? Blender receptacle? Blender pitcher?
I always called it the hopper.
I don't know what it's called. Blender, that's what it is. 2 eggs, and I'm using egg beaters just because we have them and it's easy, and y'all know my history talking about pasteurized egg products. So I need 2 eggs, and that is a 1/2 cup of liquid egg. So 1/2 cup of liquid. Ooh, nuts. I spilled a little.
Oh, the cat will eat it.
That shouldn't surprise anybody either. All right. Just need to wipe this off. 2 bananas, 2 eggs, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. The baking soda is going to give these muffins a lift. It's going to help them rise. So 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Not baking powder. That is a different thing. Don't use that. A teaspoon of vanilla extract. And a cup of peanut butter, or the nut or seed butter of your choice. If you are a peanut-free person or family, use almond butter or cashew butter or sun butter, whatever you like. It'll taste great as long as it's something that you think tastes great on its own. Before I measure the peanut butter into my 1 cup measuring cup, I sprayed it with a little nonstick spray so that the peanut butter comes out of the cup easier. I don't remember where I learned that trick. It might have been Mrs. Mahalik in my 7th grade home ec class at Prairie Junior High in 1986. I'm also not 100% sure. I have a whole cup of peanut butter, but I also have some almond butter. So if you are in a situation like that where you don't have enough of one, but probably have, if you mix 2 together, you're good. That's fine. Again, as long as you think it tastes good by itself, it'll taste good on its own when they're mixed together. Oh no, Tucker, the peanut butter jar is empty. That's like my dog's favorite thing because there's nothing she loves like licking out the peanut butter jar. This is the almond butter. I need a proper knife, Joe, if you want to let her out. I'm sure, like, the camera doesn't need to be babysat. I got my nut butter, and it is going into the blender. If you wanted to add cinnamon or raisins, well, I wouldn't do it yet, actually. Feel free to do things like if you want to add chocolate chips or raisins or dried like flake coconut or whatever. That would be fantastic.
Chocolate chips?
Chocolate chips work. You're not going to add them yet because if you add them now before you blend up your batter for the muffins, all it's going to do is pulverize whatever it is that you've put in the batter. So wait until after you've done that, after you've mixed up the batter, and then you can stir in the other stuff by hand. I'm not doing any of that. I don't have chocolate chips. You might want to add those to the shopping list, dude. And you're just going to put it in the blender and kind of pulse it until it looks like muffin batter. Like that. I'm taking my spatula and I'm scraping down the sides of my blender bowl, blender pitcher, receptacle. Again, I have no idea. And I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to pull out the blades. Be careful because your blender blades are likely quite sharp. And y'all know that I am not the most graceful person in the world. And I have cut myself on the blender blades before. Especially this is a new blender that I got for Christmas. So the blades are extra sharp. That's how you know you're an adult, ladies and gentlemen, when you get things like blenders for Christmas and you're completely stoked about it.
She was too.
I was completely stoked about it because fun has died for Miss Jen. So I'm just giving this a final stir by hand. Here's how it looks. Now would be the time if I wanted to add in, like I said, chopped nuts or raisins or craisins or chocolate chips or whatever. This is when I would do it. Last but not least, I'm going to pour this into a prepared muffin pan. I thought I had a muffin pan at home and I don't have a regular muffin pan. This makes a dozen. I do have a jumbo muffin tin though, which only makes 6. So basically I'm just making half as many muffins with twice as much batter in them. That's what it's for. And then they go into a 400-degree oven. My oven has been preheating this whole time. And it's a gas oven, so it doesn't take 100 years. If you're making regular size muffins, they'll go in for 9 minutes. And then you can start checking to see what kind of doneness you're working with. Since these are jumbos that I'm making, I'm going to put them in for 12 and then start checking them to see kind of where they're at in terms of doneness from there. So I will see you back here once the muffins are completely baked and I can let you know how long they ended up cooking for.
We're rolling.
All right. So 12 minutes, they're out of the oven. I checked to see that they were done by taking a toothpick and sticking them into the thickest part of the oven, and it comes out pretty much clean. Obviously these need to cool all the way, so I'll let them cool, then I'll cover just the whole tray with plastic wrap so that I can so that they don't go stale overnight and I can have one in the morning for breakfast. So it's just a quick, in your blender, 5 ingredient peanut butter, banana, egg, vanilla extract,
Baking soda.
and baking soda. 5 ingredient recipe so that you can make some use out of your basically dead muffins. If you make them, let me know how you make them. If you add stuff to these, like nuts or chocolate chips, let me know what you added and how that turned out in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed Breakfast with the Librarian, and I'll see you around South Holland. Come on into the library and give us a shout, and have a great day. Bye.